Hello everyone, it's Leo and I am happy. Let's talk about episode 21 from You and Idol PreCure. Girl, I cried. I ugly cried. But at the end, I was smiling. I was happy. I was having my moment because finally things are back to normal, or at least a little bit. But before that, we had kind of a dramatic turn of events. And I felt like this episode was fantastic. First of all, the visuals were simply stunning. The animation was so pretty. The drawings were incredible. So let's talk about it. The episode starts with Nana and Kokoro visiting Uta. Uta fell sick at the end of last week. She fainted. And they brought her cake. And the cakes were so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And when Uta saw the cakes and then she got the camera to take a picture of the cake and she opened the camera, there was a Pityun picture with her. Her mood changed. It's clear that the fact that Pityun didn't get her memories back is bothering Uta. It's making her sad. It's making her down. It's bringing her down. And she is not able to fight that. She is trying in every way she can, but she is not being able to. She is suffering. It's painful for her. And the girls, they are trying to kind of make her feel a little better. But I feel like they did not get to that point of their friendship that sometimes it's just better to let your friend cry. Hug them, lend them your shoulder and let them cry. I feel like their friendship is not on that level yet, because the girls, they were not really able to deal with how Uta was feeling. And so they said their goodbyes and they got the idea. Nana got the idea to go and see Maderon to ask her about the lock and what happened and, to get more details over that. And one thing I want to say, I love Nana's shoes in her new costume. It's so adorable. And it's nice that Nana got that agency. Like, okay, that idea came from her. And like, she is the one who thought of that. And so they went to Tanaka's house and they talked to Maderon. Before that, we see a scene of Maderon and Pityun is trying to remember something. Pityun says that there is something missing for her, and she is trying to remember that little thing. And then the girls arrive and Maderon talks to them. It's nice because we do not have a bond yet between Maderon and anyone else apart from Pityun. There were some moments between Maderon and Uta, but with the others, there was nothing. So it's nice that we had that today. And I like that it was Nana who took the front. And I feel like that is an idea that would come from her character. Very nice. And Maderon just says that Pityun got her wish. And her wish was fulfilled. For that, she had to give away her memories. And her memories are never going to come back unless a miracle happens. And that part of the miracle isn't something that we knew prior to last week. I think we all knew that there was a sacrifice that had to be made. So it's clear that we do not know everything about the lock and the key. And another thing that is missing is Maderon's sacrifice. We do not know what she has sacrificed. We do not know what she had given to become Kyrgyz together with Pityun. We already know there is a sacrifice, but it's so mysterious. Oh my God. And so we get with Uta. And Uta is there by herself in her room. And she starts seeing the pictures with Pityun. And she checks her own picture. She checks the picture with Kyrwing. She checks the pictures with Kokoro. And then she relieves the happy memories that they lived with Pityun, but then the tears come. And I was very happy with that. I'm sorry by saying it like this, but I was happy with that scene because we needed a moment like that. Finally, Uta just giving it in and, just giving up. No, there's nothing I can do. And so she gave up and the tears came. And another thing that I have to say, Matsuoka Misato, Cure Idol's voice actor, in that scene She was perfection. I have no other way of explaining how I felt because I felt the pain in her voice. She was crying so, like, the way that she interpreted Uta's, oh my God, the crying, it was painful. Really, really painful. That was a masterful voice acting. Really, really incredible. And it was also painful to see Uta's mom, listening and, she couldn't do much. She was just there. And then at the same time, we already have the build-up for the villain side in Team Chokiri. And Chokirine was tricking Zakuri. And that was a funny scene because I felt like I was watching a 90s kids show in which they were kind of like allowed to do anything because like they were drinking, like, was it wine? They're drinking alcohol in a kids show, and it's just okay. You can drink how much you want to, and only one of them is spicy, but all of them were spicy. And I feel for Zakuri because he is suffering. Girl, he's the only one who's been overworked and he has to be doing everything. Poor Zakuri. And then he was very angry that he had to go by himself, but he drank the spicy drink. But all of them were spicy, so he would not escape. I love Chokirine. Sometimes I just have to say this. But then she gives him a different kind of crystal. That is a crystal that only works in fairies from Kiraki Land. And so he gets the crystal and he leaves. And then on the next day, Uta is kind of okay. She has no fever anymore, but she is still feeling it. Physically, she's fine. Mentally, she is nowhere to be seen. She was, putting milk in her cup and the milk was flowing. Girl, poor Uta. I love that because it just goes to show that she was still not able to deal with the emotions and with the sadness that came with losing Pityun. Pityun is physically there, but it's not the Pityun she knows. So she was still suffering. She was still in pain. And that was her way of, dealing with it by blanking her mind. And her mom knows that something was amiss with Uta. And then her father says that it's okay to make mistakes when you're a child. What matters is that when you are a child, it's the time to make mistakes. And then you can start over and then become an adult that won't make mistakes. Girl, that is such a lie. We make mistakes every single day of our lives. And then when he said start over, the possibility of starting over, Uta thought of a possibility. She thought of starting over with Pityun. And that gave her hope. That gave her the gas that she needed to stand up again and restart. And that's what she did. She stood up, she went running, and she was ready to go to school again. But first, she was going to take a little detour to meet Pityun and to start recreating memories with her. And so when she got there, Pityun was still working over her little chant, her little charm. We had Madaron showcasing the gummies to her. Nice product placement right there. But it was not only that. That was also something that was related to Pityun's relationship with Uta. And also Pityun's Madaron's way of dealing with the fact that Pityun was sad. A little before that, Pityun told her that there was something missing inside of her, and it felt like there was a hole inside of Pityun because she could not feel something. She knew there was something missing. And then Madaron was ready to try and find a way to create this miracle because Madaron wanted to be the one. Obviously, Madaron is obsessed. And then she showcases the gummies, and she shows that there is one specific gummy that is the miracle luck up something. And then when Pityun takes her own gummy and someone bangs on the door, she leaves the gummy there, and it's the miracle gummy. But Pityun does not see it. Madaron does not see it. When they see it, it's Uta arriving. And when Uta does jump in and arrives, Meteoron gets angry as she usually is. And then Uta gets the camera and Meteoron's like, it doesn't matter if you show her the pictures. It's not going to bring her memories back. And then Uta brings in a different perspective. And she takes pictures with Pityun. She takes a picture with Pityun and she is ready to create new memories. She's ready to start over. She's ready to create a new friendship with Pityun because that's the only thing that was left for her to do. I think it's important to mention here that Meteoron was trying her best to be Netama's number one. She did it all. In the course of the whole episode, when she saw that Pityun was suffering, she was thinking of ways of creating a miracle for her, but she couldn't. And there was a scene that she told Pityun that she was going to look for that missing thing, but and then she said, "Oh, and I'm going to look for that missing thing because I am your number one, right?" And here we're talking about a Pityun with no memories of anything that happened prior to their coming to Kiraki Land, to Hanamichi Town. And even with no memories, even with the amnesia, Pityun did not confirm that Meteoron is her number one. So it's like, it's destiny, girl. I'm sorry. I am so sorry for Meteoron every single time because Meteoron is always thinking and trying, giving it her best for Pityun to be her number one, and for her to be Pityun's number one. Pityun is already her number one. She can't do it. Unfortunately, there is nothing that she can do to make Pityun notice her in this way. And so, after this, we have Zakuri seeing that Pityun is all happy, and Zakuri sees a fairy from Kiraki Land, and so he's like, I'm ready. And he creates a new Kurayaminda with Pityun's existence. Before going on, it is time for another episode of Idol Corner. In this episode of Idol Corner, we're going to talk about Niji no Conquistador. Niji no Conquistador, also known as Niji-Con, is a group that started in 2014, managed by the illustration website Pixiv. They later moved on to a different management. The group theme is Every Day is a Culture Festival. It's considered to be an idol group that pursues their own ideas of cute and nice. The name comes from the aim of becoming a conqueror of fans' hearts with the colors of the rainbow. Niji no Conquistador has an ever-changing lineup, with member graduations and new idols being added. It is a group with lots of active idol members. Currently, it has 12 members and 2 trainee members. Their trainees are always represented with pink colors. Their albums always have rainbow in the name. Niji no Conquistador song recommendations are Namida Awayuki, Sayonara Tiger, Knowing Love, Aurora Orchestra. Now, Pityun is a Kurayaminda. And the Pityun Kurayaminda is a Kiraki Light. And some considerations about the fighting scene. First of all, we have Pityun as a Kiraki Light, as a Kurayaminda Kiraki Light. And we have Uta's Idol Heart Brooch and Meteoron being locked away with Pityun's power, with the Kurayaminda power. So, Cure Idol... Uta could not transform into Cure Idol. And there was a moment in which Uta was going to be hit. Meteoron Meteoron pushed her so that they would both escape from the beam. And in another moment, Meteoron protected Uta. I think this is relevant for some things that we're going to talk about a little further. And another interesting thing to notice is that we saw, and that was very smart, we saw the Kurayaminda attacking in 3 different ways. In the first one, it glue pink, just like your idol's light stick or Kiraki light. The Kurayaminda punched, just like your idol. And then we had the Kurayaminda shining blue, just like Curwink's Kiraki light. How does Curwink fight apart from the barrier? She kicks. The Kurayaminda kicked. And last, we had the Kurayaminda glowing purple. Purple is Kurakyunkyun's color. How does she fight? By throwing some beams into the enemies. And so we have a collective power here in the same Kurayaminda fighting the same way as the idol PreCure in their respective colors. I found that super interesting. That was the only interesting part in terms of fights, because there was no fight in this episode, let's just say this. But that was a very smart thing that they did. And then Uta remembered that one thing that captured Pityun was her song. Her song was always able to make Pityun shine. And so that's what she did. She sang. Her song was able to get to Pityun. She sang once, it did not work. The Kurayaminda got her. Her voice was shaking. She couldn't sing properly, but she kept on singing. She kept on singing and she kept on trying to get to Pityun. And then the Kurayaminda was getting her so hard she couldn't sing anymore. And she started crying because the last resort that she had, which was her singing, did not work. And she started crying. But, well, actually, her voice was able to go through. Suddenly, Pityun was also singing. Pityun was able to feel the song. Where did that song come from? I don't remember, but I know that song from somewhere. And Pityun started singing. So we could hear Pityun singing your idol's song for the first time. Yoshino Nanjo singing Egao no Unison. And then, after Pityun sang a little bit, Uta started singing it again. Because the Kurayaminda was not that strong anymore. She was able to sing Zettai. And Pityun was able to complete Zettai. Idol. Egao no Unison is such a special song already. And this episode made it become it even more. At that point, I was not watching anything. My tears would not let me watch anything. What a beautiful moment that was. I was just crying. I was crying and crying and crying and crying. I couldn't do anything else. Just cry and enjoy the moment in which Uta created a miracle. I think it was not only Uta, but mostly her. I say not only her because the relationship that she had with Pityun made it possible for her song to go through. And her song was able to connect them, reconnect them, and make the memories, bring them back. The memories were able to resurface on Pityun. A miracle was born. A miracle made of unison. The unison of Pityun's and Uta's friendship. It was there. Uta was able to create a miracle. And Pityun left the Kurayaminda. Her bow, her ribbon, was now colorful again. And she was able to reconnect with Uta. And because of that, that barrier that was created in the Idol Heart Brooch and in Merodon was also broken. Uta got the idol heart broached back and transformed into Cure Idol. At that point, Madoran was watching everything. And Madoran was able to notice that Uta created a miracle. Her power was able to create a miracle. She was able to break the curse from the lock and the key. And not only that, Cure Idol was ready to transform. But then Pityun got the opportunity and both of them transformed. Cure Zukyun and Cure Kiss were there and they defeated the Kurayaminda. And I thought we were going to have a little bit of an action moment, but we did not. Girl, I was a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. But it was like, as I said, the Kurayaminda was very smart. The Kurayaminda was, the idea of the Kurayaminda was cool. And also another thing that was nice was when Pityun left the Kurayaminda, there was no one there inside the Kurayaminda possessing the Kurayaminda. It was good because there was, the Kurayaminda went rogue and the Kurayaminda would not even obey Zakuri. And then Awakening Harmony, Zukyun Kiss Destiny defeated the Kurayaminda. And there was no ribbon in this episode because there was no victim. So there was no ribbon. They just purified the Kurayaminda and Pityun got back the Kiraki Light. And Zukyun got the Kiraki Light back. And then Zukyun came close to Uta, or close to Cure Idol, and told her, in Cure Zukyun's voice, which is something new. I love it. In Cure Zukyun's voice, I remember you. Now I know who you are. And then they held hands and they de-transformed. Uta and Pityun. They are now reunited. And girl, I have to say I was crying again. Because at that point, Uta was trying something new. That was the answer she could find to keep her going. To keep her moving forward. But that's not what she wanted. She wanted her friend back. That's what she wanted the most. Okay, she could create new memories with Pityun. That's the answer she got. But that would not be the best thing. The best thing was what she got after. And that's what she did. She cried. She was able to cry once again and hug Pityun. Because it was now the time to get her friend back. The miracle is complete. But we have something else happening there. We have Cure Kyun arriving together with Cure Wink and attacking Zakuri. I feel like there's going to be a little rivalry between both of them because both times there was a little bit of an interaction between Kyun and Zakuri. I feel like there might be something that would be interesting. And Zakuri went away after being attacked by the Kyun laser. And then the girls were all shocked. And Tanaka was very cute in his pajamas, in his green pajamas. I love Tanakan. Tanakan is so cute as well. I was so happy that he appeared. And then Uta was like holding Pityun. The girls were shook that Pityun is back. The girls were happy that Pityun is back. And Uta's like, I am so happy. Now we're going to be able to be cures together. All 5 of us are going to be cures. Madoran is watching by the side. And Madoran thinks on one thing. Like, okay, Uta is, or Cure Idol and Uta, she is Pityun's number 1. Why can't I be Pityun's number 1? This is something that makes Madoran suffer. She wants to be Pityun's number 1. She is going to understand that. But it's going to be a painful lesson for sure. And another thing. She is starting to notice that Uta is special. She is starting to notice that Uta has a lot of power in her. For now, Uta has no worth to Madoran. But something is blossoming inside of her. And I'm curious to see where this is going to go. But then she gets Madoran gets Pityun from Uta. 5 of us? Cures together. No way, babies. I am Zukyun Kiss together with Pityun. We are a duo. We're not going to be PreCure is with you. You three are our rivals. And the girls are shocked. I love Nana's reaction. I love Nana's reaction to that. It is so nice. And girl, Maderon is not going to go down without a fight. She doesn't want to be in a group. No. She wants to be an idol with Pityun, and that's it. And so, Zukyun Kiss is now a rival from the idol PreCures. Girl, this is gonna be interesting. But let me just say, I am so happy that Pityun is back. I am so happy that this arc is over. This arc was truly incredible. And I have been suffering since episode 16, since the end of episode 16. Now it's already episode 21. They spent quite a while in this arc. And I'm very happy that they did, because I feel like it worked perfectly. It was very, very good. It was very intense. It was very painful. It was chaotic. It was fun. It was dramatic. But ultimately, there is still a puzzle piece that is missing, and that's her. We have absolutely no idea what Maderon has sacrificed, and I feel like we're not going to know anytime soon, because it's probably not going to come into play. For now, at least. Maybe it's only going to come into play at the end of the season. I don't know. Remembering that there's a video here on the channel talking about an interview that was done with Yoshino Nanjo and Miharu Hanai, who are the voice actors from Pityun and Maderon. And Maderon's voice actor, Miharu Hanai, said that she is the only one who knows what Maderon has sacrificed. Obviously concerning the voice actors. The other voice actors do not know what Maderon has sacrificed. Miharu Hanai is the only one who knows. And she is suffering with this information. But I have no idea, absolutely no idea what's going to come into play with Maderon's character. All I know is that I am living and loving every second of You and Idol PreCure. Thank you, PreCure Lords, for this amazing arc and this amazing episode. It was truly incredible. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you're a member, thank you very, very much for your support. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.